Hey everybody, it's Jenny and welcome back to Jen's Creations. Again, I just want to come on real quick and show you a couple of things that I've been working on recently, and I'm going to show you the embarrassing part first. I'm just going to get over it, okay? I want to be transparent here and show you my failures as well as my successes. So I stamped out that bird stamp that I'm still absolutely in love with on some watercolor paper. It's stamped beautifully, and I used StazOn. Did I use StazOn or no? I used VersaFine Clear because Crafty Centricity. Hey Sharon, I really believe she said that if you wanted to apply watercolor or inks that this wouldn't move and shift. So I applied it to, I did the stamp on the watercolor paper, and then last night I dried my hand at some watercoloring and I found out that I really stink at it. I mean, blending it well, I don't know, it's hard. And then, you know, if you apply too much water, then you warp. Here, can you see? The paper's all warped. So Sharon, I just applied too much water, I think, because I was just trying to work on this part of the bird, and I just couldn't get the colors right that I wanted. I'm happy with the circle and the dirt mound, and I'm happy with, I mean, it's okay, the top part of the bird, but down here, oh, I just really suck at it. So what I ended up having to do, because after I watercolored on it, Sharon, I'm speaking to Sharon mainly now, if she can help me, all my black lines pretty much turned gray or whatever. They weren't black and crisp anymore. So then I went back to my stamping platform and I put the watercolor paper in there in the same position, I thought, but I guess because it's so warped, you know, I didn't get it exactly. So there's a little bit of double vision going on up here at the top part of it. I mean, maybe if someone didn't know, it's not so bad. The bird doesn't look too bad. He doesn't look too blurry, but the lines up top look pretty blurry. But anyway, watercoloring is not as easy as it looks as far as blending different colors and whatnot. But I want to practice, but I'm so glad I stamped it 3 times, and this was on a scrap piece of watercolor paper. I'm so glad, instead of like ruining these two, which I wanted to watercolor, but I don't know. I may use Copic markers on them now. I don't know. We'll see. So that was disappointing. In fact, Julie and I were texting last night. Hey, Julie. She's the creative chica here on YouTube. And I told her that I was attempting watercoloring. And she said something like she had watercolored too and she wasn't very good at it. And I'm like, now I understand why. It's not so easy, but I mean, it was fun, but then I'm such a perfectionist that this drove me crazy. So Sharon, I saw your YouTube video where you showed this stamp and you watercolored that bird. Oh my gosh, you did an amazing job. I don't know if you can give tips or whatever, but you did an amazing job. So back to the bird, sorry. So I had a plain glassine bag and I'm like, man, I really want to put that bird on a bag. So I stamped it in VersaFine Clear and it wouldn't dry. So ignorant me got out my heat tool because I wasn't thinking these bags are kind of waxed. So I put my heat tool on it and it just like made the ink really wet. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go grab that new embossing powder, the Seth Apter embossing powder. And so I sprinkled embossing powder over it and I just embossed it. And then I love it. So it's shiny, it's black, it's not going anywhere, it's stamped beautifully, and it embossed really well. So there's that one. And then I took some more pigment ink, a pigment ink pad that's gold, and I stamped the bird in gold. Now, if I run my finger on it, I do get, oops, yeah. It does smear a little. So, yeah, but it looks dry. It doesn't look like the black ink did, but when I touch it and then when I look at the bag, I can see where it has smeared. So maybe I just won't touch it that much. And this part of the bag, I don't know, it got some ink on it some way, somehow. Probably on the stamping platform. I'll have to cover that up. But I wanted to use these some way, somehow in my journal. And I was thinking about doing the whole washi tape flip kind of a thing. I don't know. If you got ideas, let me know. Because I don't want to fold it. You know, I mean, my gosh, that breaks up the bird. But I do want to use them in my bird journal some way, somehow. Okay, one more thing, and I'm sorry, it involves another digital kit, but again, this was a freebie. So, it was birds, so of course I wanted to print it off, and I printed it on the 65-pound Nina white cardstock. But it came with a journaling card, a smaller journaling card, these two cards. I think the colors are just so pretty with the birds, and it's pink. It's really, really pretty with the birds. And then you got an envelope, so I put together the envelope. It has a really pretty flap that I fussy cut. Yep, I fussy cut that. Can you believe it? Thank goodness for alcohol inks where you can cover up any mistakes. And I used my favorite, I love this stuff, Victorian Velvet. It is so pretty, but man, this is a juicy ink pad. I don't know why. It's so juicy. I have to be careful, and I have to stamp off on something first before I start inking the edges, or it's just super duper dark. But I got a cute little envelope, and then a couple of tags, and I wanted to save those for last because I got some sari silk. This is a long time ago video, but I got this big package of sari silk, and I don't know, I thought it looked pretty good with the colors and the tag, and it does have some blue on the sari silk, this little flower imprints, and so I thought it brought out the blue of the bird. And then on this one, I love this ribbon. I got it at Walmart, but it's one of my favorite ribbons, so I used it on that tag. So I got a couple tags. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to put white eyelets in, and I'm a little disappointed in them because as soon as you press your crocodile on them, the white paint just chips. So my white eyelets are pretty much not white anymore, they're silver. Does anybody else have that problem? I mean, I just thought they were going to be these beautiful white eyelets, and then as soon as you clamp down on them, the white paint just starts chipping off. I'm just interested if that's happened to anybody else. So, okay guys, enough of more projects that I've been doing lately. I have another video I want to do with some shares that I either bought off of Facebook Marketplace or eBay, or I got from a friend. So guys, sending out love and prayers and crafty hugs from Texas. and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.